But anyone who has watched this channel for a long time would know that I love lore-friendly cars. And when I say lore-friendly, I don't mean that the police like it, I mean that it fits in with the lore, as in to say the storyline and everything else within the universe of Grand Theft Auto. And this is another car that I never really thought to see made into a car that would fit well into here. It is this, the Karin Sigma Mark III. Yeah, it's that. It's a Toyota MR-S. Isn't this weird? It's kind of, the shape sort of matches. The front really definitely makes you think Toyota. The rear, not so much. I mean, they are very weird looking lights, so we can just say that. But this is a car that I never really thought of. To be honest, it's a car that I don't really think about much of at all, because if I'm ever thinking of an MR2, I'm thinking of the AW11 or the SW20. The MR-S is sort of like this oddity that sort of doesn't really exist in my world of dream cars. But it's really cool to see this, because it actually, in my opinion, this looks like it fits in perfectly with the GTA universe. In fact, to be honest, it looks almost like a bit GTA 4-y. I think it's just these rear lights, they're just so big, there's just a little bit of sort of cartooniness to them. But even still, GTA 4 cars still fit great into GTA 5. I think all of these cars fit in absolutely brilliantly. And so here we are left with this. So let's just go ahead and check this out and see what this mod's all about. So let's just open up the trunk and the boot. So of course, in this one, the trunk is in the front because this is a mid-engine car. And then as you can see here, we have our little mid-engined thing. It almost looks like rear-engined almost. It's not much left of the bodywork behind there. Can you really fit a boot back there? In fact, it makes me wonder, does this have two trunks? It does not. How does the MR2 boot work then? I don't know. I only know about the Mark 1 and 2. I don't really know about the Mark 3. The Mark 1 and 2 obviously just had a small little boot at the back as well. The Mark 1 and 2 just had a sort of small little boot thing behind the engine as well. This one, you can't really spot that, but there is the engine right there. On the interior, of course, this is a two-seater car, and this is actually just an interior taken from loads of other cars that you get inside of GTA. This is just a pretty generic style dashboard that's always reused, but that makes it fit in with the world of GTA 5, so that's great in my opinion. That all works nicely. Now, this does have tuning parts. Brilliantly, are always great. When we get these cars and then they come with tuning parts, mwah, lovely. So let's see what we've got here. So we have spoilers, quite a few options. We have the stock, we have the small spoiler. That is a small spoiler. That is, what that is actually is a model of a normal spoiler shrunk down. That is just comical. Then we have a ducktail spoiler. Very interesting. Okay. Then we have the street spoiler. That fits it a little bit nicer. Okay. Then we have the Yakuza spoiler. Is that supposed to be based off of... Oh! It's just hit me. It's the Stinger. This is what it reminds me of. Wasn't the Stinger based on a very similar car? It just suddenly hit me. It's with that Yakuza name because obviously in GTA 3, the Stinger also had a Yakuza version because the Yakuza gang, they used to have like gang cars. Did they have gang cars in GTA 5? Oh, actually they do, don't they? Because the Lost has vans. Yeah. But yeah, you definitely had like some notable gang cars that used to drive around in older versions of GTA at least. And yeah, that's what made me think of this. I'm not sure if that actually fits the one from GTA 3, but interesting nonetheless. And then we also have the carbon racing spoiler, which actually fits that quite nicely. I'm not sure what sort of style we're going to go for here, but I'm just going to assume race car. On the front bumper, we have just an option for a front lip. Just add something pretty simple. Actually doesn't look too bad. Quite like that. Looks very 90s. That definitely fits in with the era this car is supposedly from. Then on the rear bumper, we have, again, just a small little rear lip. Again, I think it fits quite nicely. Don't think it matches with this spoiler exactly, so I'm going to go ahead and make this into a sort of, I don't know. I might just keep this as sort of like a stock looking car. Let's just make this look pretty 90s. So then on the side skirts, we have just these things added. Again, just makes it look very 90s, very Japanese in fact, with these big massive like bulgy bits coming out. Then we have some roll bar options. We have a track day roll bar, which is just going to go ahead across the rear window, and then we also have a racing roll bar that's going to go in the back like that. As you can see, there's the inside and out. Then on the grille, this is going to be a custom frunk. That's going to be, oh, okay, it's a carbon frunk lid. Okay, or carbon trunk lid, however you want to call that. How would you call the boot? The fruit? Doesn't really work, does it? It has to be frunk. Well, I don't really like that anyway, so we won't bother with that. Then on the hood, which is at the back, that's going to be a carbon cover. Again, I don't think that really matches with this car. It also looks quite lumpy. But I don't think that matches, so we won't bother with that. Then on the fenders, we have some carbon racing mirrors. Oh, actually, that doesn't look so bad. I quite like that. Okay, I'm going to go for that. And then we also have the carbon windshield frame. That is an interesting mod. I guess this is supposed to be a convertible. I wonder if in extras we can take the roof off. We'll check that in a minute, but I don't think we're going to go with carbon. Then on the roof, there we go. We can do it here. Remove roof, or we can have a carbon roof. In fact, actually, I'm going to tweak this. I'm going to go all carbon. I'm just going to make this look like some sort of race car. And so I guess for the race car, you'd want to have some lightweight parts. So I've just gone full carbon fiber. Right, let's just upgrade that. Seems it's all supposed to be a race car. Lower the suspension down. That's a pretty sizable drop. We might have to tweak that in V-Stancer. In extras, we can just get rid of the windows, but I don't want to do that. In fact, that just seems to just get rid of the roof. Well, we'll keep that on, and we'll add a turbo. Right, let's just go ahead and change the paint. Not sure what sort of color would go with this, although it does look quite cool in this bright orange. I will say that these wheels look completely lost in this car. They just look so small and just lost in there. So we definitely need to change that. So let's go for wheels. Let's just... Oh, these are all good. These are all good. I kind of like that one, but it's supposed to have been a race car, and that doesn't really look race car to me. That looks just sort of... Yeah. At least not on this car. It doesn't look really racy. Oh, in fact, these do. They look pretty racy. Something like that. Okay. But we definitely need to change the suspension here because that is just too low on the rear. We're going to have to raise that up just a little, even though it does look a little bit strange. Yeah, I'm not too sure on... Maybe we just need to make the wheels smaller. Maybe that's it. Although this is supposed to be a race car. I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted of where I want this build to go. And of course, I need to go ahead and change that spoiler back as well. Back for the racing one. There we go. Actually, it has just reset my wheels back to how I just had them before. And you know what? We'll just keep it like that, I think. So there we have a sort of racing-inspired version. Perhaps not as racy as I would like, perhaps just because of the limited tuning options, but it doesn't look too bad. It definitely looks a lot nicer from the front. I'm still not entirely sure on that rear. Those lights are kind of freaky to me, although they do fit. It does work. It's just a little cartoony looking. But I don't know. Maybe you guys like that. I don't know. You can let me know in the comments. Oh, terrible, terrible. I seem to have made a scratch that looks almost like a Peugeot badge on the side. Not very fast though. But then I don't think these were ever, were they? These were... I don't know. It's quite weird because I absolutely adore MR2s, but the MR-S or Mark III MR2, I don't really know how this would be called, it just completely evaded me. I just never really got it. I was just blinded by the first two MR2s that this one just got lost for me. But I don't know, looking at the front end of this, I think it looks quite nice. I'm convinced, even with this strange sort of like bulgy 3-set light thing that's going on. Right, let's just go ahead and try one more, shall we? Okay, so here we are done with the second build. Now, I decided to go a slightly different route with this one. I decided to go low. I decided to go cambered just at the rear, though. This is just a sort of, you know, just a stancy looks kind of cambered, nothing sort of drifty or anything like that. I actually peaked quite early with this yellow orangey paint because I couldn't find anything better. This blue's a nice second place though, and I think it actually looks really nice with the roof off and this ducktail spoiler. That's a pretty interesting look. I've also gone ahead and made the wheels smaller in V-Stancer. I made them wider and I just really slammed the car to the ground. That's looking pretty low compared to the other one. And there we go. There is our stanced Karin Sigma. How about that? You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below. This is a kind of an interesting one. It's a whole new looking car based off of the Toyota MR-S that fits in perfectly inside of the GTA universe. Always a big fan of that. Always love lore friendly cars, and this is another great one to add to the list. So there we go, guys. That is it for this one. Just another quick little video to check out another awesome little car. Right, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have got all the way to the end of this video, I want you to say ping in the comment section below. There we go. Ping in the comment section below. But that's it. I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.